In this video, we will explain Dealflows. What are they and how to set them up? So let's start first with the explanation of what Dealflows are. This right here is an example of a Dealflow, and it's essentially an overview where you will work through your campaign. Now, the reason we call it Dealflows is because it's essentially a pipeline from left to right with influencers you contacted and progressing through the funnel to influencers you partner with. Now, the reason you might want to create multiple deal flows is if you have multiple campaigns running. So let's take the example, you have a campaign on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. What you ideally want is to split them up into separate campaigns and separate deal flows, so you manage them in separate deal flows. Now, you don't have to, you can also do it in the same deal flow, but what happens is that you have TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube influencers all over this place in this one overview, which makes things messy. Right, so we recommend to split them out and have separate deal flows so you can manage your campaigns. You know exactly that you're working on a TikTok campaign or an Instagram or YouTube campaign. Now, before we explain how this structure of the deal flow works, let's first take a look at how to set them up. So in the left side menu, click on Other Tools and select the Deal Flow Manager. This is the section where you create new deal flows. Simply click on the top right hand side corner. You will be asked to select the deal flow type and then the deal flow name. So for the name, let's say Affiliate and Gifting Campaign UK. Deal flow type, so this is important. There are two types of deal flows in the Influencer Hero system. The first one is a outreach deal flow and the second one is a relationship deal flow. Now, the words already infer what this means, but outreach deal flows are for first-time partnerships with new influencers. So this is an outreach campaign. And relationship deal flows is for ongoing partnerships, right? So if you have worked with an influencer the first time, you typically drag them into relationship deal flow. We will explain later in this video how that works and how to set it up in your system. For now, let's select the outreach deal flow and click on create new deal flow. So you see here, it has been created, and this is pretty much it. So super straightforward. This is how you create new deal flows. Now let's take a look at how to use them. So in order to get to your deal flow, you have the deal flow section in the left-hand menu, and let's take a look at an outreach deal flow. So once you start your campaign, the system will automatically send out emails. Again, campaigns will be discussed in a separate video, but once you start your outreach, the influencers will populate in the outreach column right here. So we have 5 total columns. I will explain them chronologically. Once the influencer replies to your initial outreach email, the deal will automatically move to the negotiation column. Right, so this allows you to have a structured overview, you know exactly which influencers have replied to your email, and you can manage your campaign from here. Simply click on the deal page. So all the details of the deal page will be discussed in a separate video, but you can manage your replies, communication, and everything else from here. Once the influencer agrees to work with you, you can send out the product from here if you are an e-commerce brand. And this explains actually the next step. So once you click on send product and you do have a Shopify integration, the deal will move automatically to awaiting post. The reason is because this is the next stage in your campaign sequence, right? Because once you send out the product, it means you agree to work with them and you're awaiting for the post. This is why the column is called awaiting post. Now, it is important to note here that this trigger is only available for Shopify merchants and custom integrations. Shopify is essentially a CMS. We integrate with Shopify through the Influencer Hero app, and then it will use the trigger to move it to the next stage. Custom integrations is for larger enterprises which have custom built websites. We have an API where the dev team of your company can dock into Influencer Hero, and it will also use this as a trigger. But if you are a SaaS company or non-Shopify business without custom integrations, you will need to drag this deal manually to awaiting post. So we don't have that automatic trigger. The third column is called on hold. We use this column just as an additional column in case there's something you need to manage before you can proceed to the next stage, right? So this can be because you are out of stock or you are a marketing agency and you have to clarify with the client something first before you proceed to the next stage. So we just added an additional column in here. You can use it or not depending on your situation. Now once the influencer is in the waiting post stage, the system will automatically scan their accounts, and once they make a post on social media, the system recognizes it and it will move the deal automatically to the posted stage. So everything from left to right is completely automated and you have a structured overview of your campaign. Now let's say the influencer is posted and it's on the posted stage. You typically send a thank you email and then you will drag that deal into a relationship deal flow. So this is where we will get to the second type of deal flows. You can also see it in the left-hand section here. We first have the outreach deal flows, and then here you have the relationship deal flows. So let's take a quick look how a relationship deal flow looks like. The structure is quite similar, but what's important to note here is that it's not a sequence from left to right, right? This is just a section where you continue to manage your influencer partnerships. And there are different columns. There is also a reasoning behind it. So idle is, for example, influencers which, they have posted the first time, but they're not really active, so they don't continue to post. Then we have active influencers which continue to post. You have top quartile or special attention for more important influencers, maybe higher performing influencers. And you can create multiple deal flows, right? So what we typically recommend, and this is also explained in our training sessions, is to structure them based on performance. So for example, if you're running affiliate and gifting campaigns, you can create relationship boards for medium performers, high performers, or low performers. And you can, that way you have a structured overview and you can pay more attention to the ones which are driving sales. So this is it in terms of deal flows.